Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and here we go with yet another one of my little creations that is turning into a kind of a longer series than I anticipated. I coming into this, I had a bracelet I wanted to make, and I did, and then I came up with an idea for another, and then during the other one, I came up with a yet another, and that's probably going to happen again. So whatever. But this one is 5 colors. They are 4 shades of red, well, like red going down to a pink, and a white. And if I had known beforehand how much this would have reminded me of a strawberry, I might have leaned into colors to make it look more like a strawberry because the little dots all through it are like the seeds, and it's really, really super, super cute. Um, I might have been able to do like you'll see I'm just doing a single like row at a time and like staying to the same side that I was on. And I do that throughout the whole bracelet. I realized like I could have maybe brought the red down 2 spaces, but I kept it to where it was just separate rows to make it easier to kind of keep where I was. Um, Kind of I really didn't look at the pattern once I had gotten started. So it's really, really pretty simple. Again, you just have to be able to balance the zigzag knots without letting it get real sloppy looking. But if you have the left right and the right lefts down really well, then you'll have no trouble with this. Uh, but it is more advanced than just a beginner's. When I think of a beginner, I think of the person who's only had a few months of tying knots. They're still working on things like, I don't know, maybe chevrons or dovetails, that kind of thing. For those people, this would be a little bit too advanced. But if you've been doing this for a little while now, I definitely think you could do these. Everything in this series so far. It started out, the very first one was super, super easy, and then we are progressively getting a little bit more difficult with it. But that said, this is a really cool design. I think your guys are going to have a lot of fun with this one. Um, yeah, so it's just like the dark one, it does two, the next one down does two, the next one below that does two, and then the lightest color goes two. And then the next row is just kind of coming straight at it. So it's every other one is one of the colors plus a white. Really, really super simple. Um, but yeah, I sped this one up a little bit faster. Oh, this one took about 84 minutes, so a little bit longer. Possibly because it's a little bit harder, possibly just a little more distracted. I don't know. I guess it does take a little bit more time to keep changing up the colors as you're coming down the rows. So, I guess that was kind of to be expected. But yeah, it's a really fun pattern, guys. I really want to see you guys try it. Um, and don't limit yourself to just the colors that I chose. Try something different. Try shades of blue or purple or something else, just for the fun of it. Um, but yeah, I'm already thinking what the next one's going to be. I'm really excited about that. Like, I kind of want to make a pattern as soon as I'm done with this. Uh, yeah, that's kind of like, yeah, I am going to. I am sure I am going to. What else can I tell you? Well, I can tell you I made the bracelet yesterday, and I had a doctor's appointment earlier today, and so I was up really super early, and I'm still trying to get a little bit of coffee into me because I am not used to being up really early. So if I seem a little bit out of it, seem like I'm repeating myself a lot, it's sleep deprivation. And yes, I said derpivation because, derpy, right? It's a joke that we and the wife share. I thought I'd share it with you. Now that I've said it, it kind of seems like, that's kind of stupid, but it's funny. I like it. Anyway, oh, right. I don't know where the halfway point is, so let me just thank my YouTube members real quick here, before I forget, because I'm inclined to, and these things end abruptly. Um, yeah, these guys helped me have floss, so I couldn't do this without them. Plus, we got a lot of other stuff, the hardware and stuff that goes into, making videos. Um, the contributions go towards all this kind of stuff because I'm constantly trying to make it better. If there's any kind of way I could make, this whole thing better off, I would do it. Um, so yeah, speaking of not knowing where the center is, I used the clicker thing again to be able to keep track, so that way I would know when I got to the 16th row of dots. And despite my efforts, I kept missing it. Like I would click it and like double check the numbers and like, okay, so it says 9 now. Am I right? No, it's supposed to be 10. And then I got 12. Nope, it's supposed to be 13. So yeah, I had to. You'll see in there. All right, you see that? You'll see me counting them, um, because I kept messing that up. But got through it okay. Got it. It's the same size as the other ones, so that way I can kind of tell that yeah, it's used the string okay, and that comparatively speaking, like how much longer does it take to do this? And it's a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, it takes a little bit longer, but I think the payout is kind of worth it. Like when I compare the bracelets together, like this one, I think is probably the best so far in the series. Um, so yeah. Oh, if you guys got patterns and stuff for me to try, I'm kind of eager to do stuff that you guys have submitted because, like, this series started with just an idea, and I've done other series in the past based on other people's ideas. So, yeah, if you guys have something that you think would be interesting, I'm all for trying it. I don't want to do like really giant wide ones, like probably like this is 16 strings, and that's probably really good because, how long it takes to make one and stuff. Um, I mean, if it's a really outstanding pattern, maybe I would go a little bit bigger. We'd have to see. But yeah, if you guys got patterns for me, let me know. Um, yeah, this whole thing, it just came together, I would say pretty darn easy. I really kind of enjoyed how it just it kind of makes sense. Like the pattern itself, like maybe because I did it, but the color comes down over the white string, and then it's the next color that changes its direction, and that just keeps happening throughout the whole thing. Like I really feel that there is not like an easier way of doing this, to have this effect, to have it look like this. So, and it went smooth. It went real smooth. Um, I feel like the lack of coffee is really holding me back here. Oh yeah. So this kind of pattern can get out of hand fairly easily if you don't have the consistency in the knots. You don't want it too tight, but you don't want them to be loose either. And having that consistency will make all the difference in the world, particularly when there's this many zigzags. Um, you so this is why the practice, this is why it can't be just a beginner's thing. There's just so many zigzags in it. It would start to get really not good if you don't kind of have that part mastered quite yet. But that said, I mean, you have to practice on something. This would be a good one for practicing that on because of the fact that there's so much going on. Um, you should be pretty easily able to see like what you're doing wrong if you're doing this. Because the row that just goes straight across, like this little, the one with the whites in it, that one's easy. That's the same as doing a regular old chevron or a candy stripe. It's the other row. So if you've got one down but not the other, you'll be able to diagnose your problem pretty quick, I would think. Um, so yeah, it's really pretty though. And you see what I mean about the strawberry? Like it's a little bit like if I had gone a little bit more on the reds and then instead of white. Well, I guess there is a strawberry that's got like the white seeds, right? Or white, whatever those little bits are. But I could have gone with a green and it would have looked really, really cool. I really, I'm kind of tempted on doing that just to have it in the shop, you know. Um, but I'm kind of busy. I'm making a lot of patterns and making a lot of videos, so I'm not sure if I'll get around to that or not. Um, yeah, I don't know if there's anything else useful that I can share with you from this. Oh, you probably should work a lot closer to the clip than I am. I just do this for the purpose of showing you guys what it looks like, and um, I don't recommend doing it that way. It's taken me a long time, a lot of practice to get to where I don't mess it up when I'm this far away from the clip. But I can tell you from experience, it's a lot easier just to keep shifting it upwards. And when it gets too high, you fold it over and then clip it. So then, you can keep going indefinitely. That's why the binder clips work so well, as opposed to like say a clipboard or something. The binder clip is a much better way of doing it. Oh, oh. For a moment there, I thought I was getting near the end. It looked like I had put the white ones on the end off to the side. I just had to check how many minutes are left. Um, so I'm looking at the screen. I got the bracelet in my hand. It's really cute. Oh, and I do show the backside of it. The backside actually looks super cool as well. I think because it was doing the chevron, so it still feels like it has a texture because of the way that the two rows are. It still has a bit of a texture, but I think because we weren't going in a straight row and we went in a chevron, the texture feels a little bit better, I think. It's really cool. I wish I wish there was a way like, I could like somehow share what the texture feels like by the video, like let you reach and touch the screen and be like, oh yes, I see what you're talking about. Then, you know, someday in the future somebody's going to be watching this and be like, well, we have that now. But we're here in 2025. We're a long way from being able to do such things. Um, I have to admit, when it comes to these patterns that are so repetitive, it does it's it does feel like it takes longer because you just feel like you're in an endless cycle of doing the same thing again and again and again. I tend to like patterns that have big blotchy areas that get done, and you maybe only have two or three of them, um, as opposed to having to do that and count and see how many of these repetitions you've gone through and how far. Yeah. Um, but that said, these are easier. These are the kind of things that you can just take along with you, and you don't have to have the pattern. You don't have to have something, a guide to look at to be able to make it. You're not checking off areas. It's just a simple repetitive thing. And well, I am kind of curious. What is your guys' take? Do you guys prefer patterns that are like this, like super repetitive, that kind of don't require a lot of effort, or do you want like really complex ones? Because honestly, I can gear some of the content towards what you guys are interested in if you guys let me know. Because yeah, I can, right? Mind you, it won't be the next video. I've already got that idea already brewing. While making this one, I was like, oh, I know the next thing that would work really good in this series. Like there. So yeah, I even got the string is sitting on my desk ready to chop it up and get it ready to go. I would say that I'd work on the bracelet today, but I don't have the string cut, and once it's cut, I have to pass it to Mandy to do the loops. So yeah, probably start working on it tomorrow. But I'll have the pattern today. I'm really excited about having the pattern today. In fact, I'm live streaming right now. So if you were a member, you would be able to actually be watching me record this and then watch me switch locations on my desk and record the pattern making because, yeah, that's about to happen. Oh, look, we're getting near the end. Yay. So, yep, that's my day in a nutshell. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying all of these videos. Hopefully, I'm inspiring you to try it. And I think the biggest takeaway that I want you to get from this is I started with a simple pattern and I'm slowly been adding and changing it. And with those changes, it just keeps getting more and more interesting. So yeah, maybe there's a pattern that you like, and that maybe now you'll take a look at maybe altering it a little bit, changing it, and then with a little bit of progression, turning it into something that's uniquely your own. Because that's my hope for everybody that watches my videos is that you guys get inspired and learn how to make a pattern. So, yep, here's last little bit come right here. Um, thanks for hanging out with me. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.